Hey guys, this is Leon and 95. I'm still reading the Edgar and Poe collections, and at this time I'm gonna summarize the fall of the cows of Usher. It just started like this. During the whole day, I trusted riding a horse in a vast terrain. It was a fall and it was a sad day. It was a sad because the darkness surrounding the place, the atmosphere of the huge chair was something that is not peace, is causing something to the person. And he asked, I don't know why, but he felt the melancholic right there. He felt really sad, but why? He asked himself, why? Because he was feeling was desolation and sadness. Then he advanced and saw and see the house of Usher, and he saw this house with the same feeling of losing something, but it was the house that was causing this sadness because he saw those naked walls, windows like empty eyes, and the reflection it was in the lake, but the reflection of the house was a darkness, was something peculiar. Uh, and he didn't answer and he said, why? The energy that he felt was depriment. He he did a metaphor. He says it's like when an opioid smoker wake up after ending the feeling of the sensation, and he feel like say, and then he saw the house because he was walking through the house. Then still observing the lake in front of the house, still housing that feeling. But he has to enter because in that house it was his best friend of the infancy, Roderick Usher. But he was his best friend, but when they were adults, they disappeared each other. He didn't know so much information about him until he received a letter of Roderick say, hey, you are my best friend and you have to come to my house. According with the letter that the person read, Roderick Usher was talking with sincerity, was being true on what he sent to his best friend. But still, the house caused something. Still seeing the lake, figuring out the sadness, the desolation, this house is like abandoned house. Even if it's like a huge house, it's like a castle, but it still is causing something different. Okay. Then after he entered the house, he followed a path, and a servant was waiting for him, and the servant took the horse, and another servant guided him inside the house. Now, inside the house, the ceiling, the tapestry, and the black floor, it was like gothic. It was black. It was more depressing comparing inside and outside. There is the same energy. When he walked to see Roderick, he um, he walked upstairs and he encountered with the doctor of the family. But the doctor of the family saw him like with angry. He was mad something, and he has to advance until to see Roderick Usher. When he arrived at the room of Roderick was there. He stand up from the sofa and say, "I'm so happy to see you, my friend. I knew that you will come here. I never forget, my friend, and I have a lot of things to say you." When he saw the face of Roderick, he knew that something will be going on. He Roderick prepared many things because his friend was coming, and they talked a lot of things. And he explained that Roderick Rocher explained that he has a illness that caused the quickly low of energy. He lost energy in the time, and he can't feel like any strong odor. He can't feel too much light, and he can hear many sounds. He compared like the ghost of fear because Roderick it was sin, but it was fear of those things that I say. Uh, Still, Roderick had a sister, right? And the sister was in the house, but she didn't marry the man, which is with Roderick. She's called Lady Madeleine. He was surprised because she felt like the same illness of Roderick. She was so mad with the doctor, she's cruel, and that is the reason when he encountered the doctor in the stairs, Tay was so mad because before was with Lady Madeleine. But still in the conversation, Roderick and his friend, he say, "Okay, I'm past my days painting, reading, then I might have my guitar." But the darkness control him, the darkness, because he feels so alone in the house, even was with her sister. He said that in this place of palace is enchanted because it's something what's going on. Okay, and then they figure it out. Um, the friend figured it out that he's comparing the house as a place where the angels, the beautiful angels, lives in the antiquous time, but right now he only shows bad spirits. Okay, and then he explained my sister. He say my sister is so sick and she will die nowadays. And he said, "Roderick, how can you say that thing?" But he says, he's comparing them, the heaven and inferno like Dante, he wrote sometimes. Then, after the conversation with the Roderick, they Roderick have to rest a little bit, and the next day, say, Roderick appeared, knocked at the door of the friend and said, "My sister had left to exist." He was so sad. And also he says, "I have to you ask for a favor. I will say the cadaver for 15 days Before I entered in the basement of the house where the crypts are there because Medellin should be with that family. And she died when he wasn't at home, and Roderick has to follow the rules of the family. After Lady Medellin died, Roderick Usher changed so much. His feelings, he didn't want to read, he didn't want to paint, he didn't want to play the guitar, he didn't want to do anything. He was in a depriming feeling. Then Roderick's expression says, the night I woke up, the night I woke because the energy is so bad. He saw the open the windows and he saw something, and it was the rise that he saw because it was a torment was coming, and he saw those rise, and he explaining that he is a phenomenon caused by electricity in the atmosphere, and he has to close the windows because Roder Uksher can feel the energy outside because he was illness. Of course, it was too much light for him, and he has to avoid it. So his friend closed the door, and he said, "Hey, Roderick, just calm down, and I'll read your favorite history or your favorite book." And he said his favorite, but it was not. He was just trying to calm down to Roderick. And he said the hero of the history is Hermit because he had to enter in a house, and he decided to enter with a force, counted with a son, and he heard and destroyed the door. The son, the son destroyed, it wasn't the whole son because he broke something. I think he broke a metal door, and the son was so strong, and he heard the same sound. And he said, "Oh my God, it's a coincidence? Or what's going on? My imagination is so much." And he just continued to reading. Everest was furious because he didn't encounter with Hermit, but he found a dragon with a flame in the wall, and he saw a shell. Basically, Everest, the first characteristic of the tale that the friend of Roddy was reading has to get a shield, but in order to get a shield, he has to kill a dragon, which his flames in the moon is so danger. And he killed the dragon, and the shell just fell up in his feet. And then another son. It was so desperate because one could be a coincidence, but two is something what's going on the house of Usher. Um, when he saw Roderick, Roderick was so nervous, okay, and say, "Do you hear that?" And Roderick didn't answer. And then he say, "I have to continue the reading." And finally, Roderick say, "Yes, I hear that. What you say is true. The crypts. Do you remember we buried Lady Madajan in the basement in the crypts, and we closed it with a metal door? It's the same sound as the character on the novel that you're reading to me. And she will be facing me and she will kill me like the characteristic with the dragon. Say, Roderick, how can you say like that? How you don't say this? Lady Madeleine died. I helped to you to bury her. She was dying, and Roderick said, no, she wasn't. She was yeah, she was dreaming. Um, she said, I heard her steps, and she's coming for me. What I can do? And he said, at that moment he was so worried and he was so afraid because something like Roderick said to him was happening with the reality, and suddenly opened the door and she was there, and she dragged her brother and killed her brother, and he just escaped. Now he saw they both are dying. Roderick was died in his prison, and together they died. He has to escape from the house. Suddenly he saw the light of the moon, and the fissure, the house that he saw when he entered, because he saw a fissure, the fissure now is opening, and the strong wind in the atmosphere it destroyed, and the house of Usher is destroyed in fragments. Thank you so much. And it is like this ended with the house fall of Usher, this novel written by Edgar Allan Poe. So let me know in the comments if you like the history, yes or no. And see you guys in the next book.